After totally striking out in 2020, my goal this year was simple: see as many tornadoes as possible. My year would start with 4 landspout tornadoes near Kit Carson, Colorado. The first tornado was more than 20 miles to my south. Despite being so far away, I still had a pretty good view. Colorado is just so wide open.
Oh, look at that.
It's pretty hard to explain how it feels to see your first tornado, so I made this montage instead.
Alright, there we go. That is so spectacular.
I kind of have a theory about this day. I think the main reason why I saw so many tornadoes was because of how much dust there is in eastern Colorado. I am hereby coining the term dust-nado. It doesn't take a very strong tornadic circulation for this dust to accumulate, and therefore I think that's why we saw so many tornadoes on this day. My next tornado encounter would happen near Yazoo City, Mississippi on May 2nd with my good old pal Zach. We were right on the tail of this tornado, but we couldn't see anything. Eventually the debris was just way too large for us to get past. The chase was over soon after it began. 2 weeks later, I would find myself driving alongside this beastly tornado in West Texas.
This thing is a beast. This is crazy. Very strong tornado. It is so close to the ground, if not on the ground right now. Yeah, we're gonna try and get close to this thing.
The storm would cycle and a second tornado would form. This storm was showing extreme velocities on radar. It was kind of spooky at the time. Eventually, the storm would go outflow dominant, killing any chance for another tornado. Not all tornadoes are nearly as menacing as those last two in Texas. On May 23rd, I was with my friend and chase partner in eastern Colorado, where we would witness this beautiful tornado. Because of how short-lived this tornado was, only a few chasers were able to get a good view. Even though this tornado was relatively weak and short-lived, I still consider it one of my favorites of the year. The very next day, Celton and I again saw a tornado. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really positive this was a tornado until after the fact. Although it's kinda hard to see, you can see some circulation. In the storm chasing world, we call these bird farts. Or what I like to say, it's a barely nado. If I'm being honest, I don't really think this is a tornado. 2 days later, I would see my 10th tornado of the year.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, this one was definitely a tornado.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable tornado. How's that for forecasting, boys?
Good job.
Slow it down.
This was one of those storms where you're standing there and just cannot believe your eyes. It doesn't seem real. This is a dream tornado.
Another one going to the left.
The storm just kept trying and trying and trying. Eventually, it was able to produce a very brief tornado. Structure, tornado, hail, doesn't get much better than this. At this point in the season, I was pretty sure there was no way I was going to top this day. Yeah, about that. The next tornado I would see was a large multi-vortex tornado near Noble, Indiana. This tornado was strong. This was not a tornado to mess with. Watch as this tornado transforms from a very stout cone to a long, curvy elephant trunk. This is a classic example of a shape-shifting tornado. My 13th tornado of the year. What can I say?
I'm way too close to this thing.
If you watch closely, you can see a few things. Helical vortices, a tree being thrown, and some power flashes, all of which are signs of an extremely strong tornado.
Alright, right in front of me.
This was extremely terrifying and by far the most intense moment of the year. I really like this view because you can see how air is circulating at the ground level, but the tornado itself is not fully condensed. There's just a funnel cloud. Even though there might not be a fully condensed tornado, there still can be some really strong winds at ground level, and this is something that all storm chasers and weather spotters need to be aware of.
Right in this field. It's right here. All right, we got.
At this point, I was less than a quarter mile away from the circulation. This was by far the closest I had ever gotten to a strong tornado.
All right, gonna have to stop right here. Look at this tornado.
There were so many little vortexes in the core of this tornado.
Jeez, this is unbelievable. We could not be in a better spot. We're behind this thing, so we're safe right here. Okay, let's roll up the window a little bit, get a little less wet. Here we go.
Right at this moment, the tornado hit and demolished a barn, releasing a ton of dirt right into the center of the tornado. You can see how the air is pulled up, but just doesn't make it all the way up into the cloud.
Crazy. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
The rain would begin to obscure my view. The tornado also didn't last much longer. However, it still did EF2 level damage. This next tornado would be far less terrifying. Honestly, I don't even know if this one really counts. Other chasers would see circulation at the ground, so I'm counting it.
See the dying funnel to the left. Look at this. Look at that funnel. That was the old wall cloud. Actually, kind of right in the path right here, so.
It was pretty clear that this storm was no longer tornadic. This next storm, however.
We are near Dysart, Iowa. Time is now 7:05. There's a tornado potentially in there. Very low hanging wall cloud.
Although this tornado wasn't fully condensed, a pronounced bowl funnel like this probably means there's strong circulation on the ground. There was a tornado lurking in the rain. This day wasn't over. Later that night, I would capture a brief suction vortex underneath this mesocyclone. My 17th tornado was pretty special. On August 9th, I saw this tornado near Clare, Illinois. This was the first tornado I've ever seen in Illinois, despite chasing there dozens of times.
Wow.
would catch the tornado near Sycamore, Illinois. This was tornado number 2 of the day. I would see one more tornado on this day. That makes 3 tornadoes in one day, a new personal record. This large multi-vortex tornado would appear to be walking.
Multi-vortex tornado.
This little tornado outbreak that happened in northern Illinois was a perfect scenario as a storm chaser. Not really dangerous tornadoes, but they were extremely photogenic. The vortices appeared to dance underneath the meso. Just look at this circulation. The entire storm was spinning. The 20th tornado I would witness, well, actually, my drone would witness, occurred in Clifton, Wisconsin. Although it's really hard to see, this was a confirmed tornado. I put an arrow right where the tornado is. The extremely moist air and low contrast view made seeing this tornado extremely difficult. Losing visibility on a tornado can be somewhat nerve-wracking. However, a strong and violent tornado at night is an absolute nightmare of a situation. On December 10th, a long-track tornadic supercell produced 2 extremely strong tornadoes. This video captured by Eddie Knight is one of the creepiest tornado videos I've ever seen. Two days after the tornado, my friend Celton would go survey the tornado damage.